The Coyote Twin, Vermilion's downtown theater. Providing entertainment Thursdays through Sundays.
Tonight, volunteers plunge into cold waters for a cause.
We'll have that and more coming up. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
One fraternity is raising money for leukemia research. Welcome to Coyote News. I'm Jacob Pierce.
And I'm Xander Hull. We'll get to that story in a moment, but first, the candidates for SGA top offices faced each other in a presidential debate last night. The live event was hosted by Coyote News, The Volant, and KAOR Radio. Candidates answered questions from student media, social platforms, and the live audience. Candidates told the audience what specific issue they plan on tackling first if they're elected. Mohammed and Tio Bistia Berhanu say they want to make connections with SGA and the student body.
One of the biggest things we want to focus on is connections, because we believe that connections build trust and that makes us stronger, and that's one of the key areas we want to focus on.
Keegan Baker and Elizabeth Hart talked expanding access to USD safe rides.
So I want to expand that to more high traffic areas or times that it's in demand, such as Dakota Days or other weekends such as that, where students are in unsafe situations, and we really just want to help them out in any way that we can.
More than 65 people were in attendance at the debate. Voting for SGA candidates opens Tuesday and closes Wednesday evening at 5 o'clock.
A bill that would have impacted university housing failed in the State House of Representatives. House Bill 1193 would have prohibited public universities from requiring students to live on campus the first 2 years of their college education. The measure also would have not required students to purchase a meal plan. The bill failed on the House floor yesterday. The final vote was 28 for and 42 against. A Senate bill also failed yesterday. The measure would have incorporated Native American culture and history into public school curricula. Senate Bill 196 would have mandated the teaching of the Osheti-Shikoan essential understandings. The phrase refers to the Lakota, Dakota, and Nakota people. The bill failed yesterday 7-28.
Volunteers dove into frigid water downtown to raise funds for South Dakota Special Olympics. Participants from around the state lined up at the old lumber company to jump into chilly water in support of special needs athletes at this year's Polar Plunge. The plunge featured a Hawaii theme, with divers jumping into 50-degree water made colder by the near 0-degree temperatures and falling snow. Each participant donated $100 to take the plunge, all of which went to the cause. The 50 participants raised nearly $25,000 from plungers and donors. The Polar Plunge will be back next winter.
The Office of Service Learning has some volunteer opportunities coming up. Coyote News' Kylie Parisian is live in the muck with more details. Kylie?
Thank you so much, April. Jacob, I'm here with April Lee. April, what is your role and how is your role beneficial for the community?
Thank you so much for having me, first of all. My name is April Lee, and I'm the Assistant Director for the Office of Service Learning and Community Engagement, which is a big mouthful. Basically, what I am is the bridge between the USD campus and the greater Vermilion community, or even Sioux Falls, Sioux City, Yankton as well. And I connect USD students with volunteering opportunities, and I help those nonprofits get volunteers in their doors to help them to get any of the things done that they need done.
Then I know there's some opportunities that people can attend this weekend in Sioux City with the Boys and Girls Club and in Crittenden. Can you tell us a little bit more about those?
Sure can. And what's great about them is they're kind of on both ends of the spectrum of volunteering. One is more about community engagement, and one is more about that actually boots on the ground volunteering. The Boys and Girls Home is actually a professional fundraiser. They're a private nonprofit, and so they function 100% on donations, and they have 2 big fundraisers a year in Sioux City, and so this is a very important event, and I have students lined up to go down there and help him with the check-in process and the silent auction and whatnot, so they get to see that side of professional fundraising. And then the Crittenton Center is a youth development shelter, and the students that are going down there actually get to work one-on-one with the youth residents who are living there. They're awaiting foster care or adoption, and they get to eat lunch with them, clean their rooms, do some schoolwork, some other constructive activities, and then also just have fun. So it's like they get to have a buddy for the day, like a one-on-one buddy. So yeah.
And then what's the importance of having these students come and volunteer and help the community in Sioux City in the surrounding areas?
Oh gosh, well, twofold. Number one, it helps the nonprofits. Every time we send a volunteer from USD in, we actually save them $33.53 because that's the value of a volunteer hour. So we're helping to save them money. But these students get connections to or experiences in like future careers. It also helps, some of them have actually gotten employment out of it. So that's really the importance of it, is that we help them fulfill those things they need done with volunteers, and the students get actual experience in a career that they could be going into down the road.
Perfect. Thank you so much, April.
Thank you.
Live from the muck, I'm Kylie Parisian.
Thanks, Kylie. Information about service learning can be found at their page on USD Involved.
Pike is hosting a series of 30-minute cycling classes to raise money for the Jason Trudeau Cycle for Life Foundation. The event honors the life of former Pike member Taylor Trudeau and proceeds support leukemia research. Each cycling class costs $5. The event's happening right now at the Wellness Center and lasts until 9 o'clock. In full disclosure, both Jacob and I are members of the Pike fraternity. Coming up, the theater department prepares for another opening night. You're watching Coyote News.
In a world where embracing your identity is a privilege not usually given to the members of the LGBTQIA+ community,
the University of South Dakota Spectrum provides community and education for young queer scholars.
Sexuality and identity are defined on spectrums.
And having a community of open-minded, inclusive peers provides safety. Spectrum is one reason all Coyotes can call the University of South Dakota their home.
This is Coyote News.
One of Steven Sondheim's works is making its debut at the Knutson Theater's stage. Coyote News' Sydney Colin spoke with the actors as they prepare for opening night.
USD's theater department is performing Company as their first show of the spring semester.
Company is about a girl named Bobby, and she's turning 35 years old, and everybody's coming over to her apartment for her birthday, and it follows the story of her and her friend group. Some of them are married, some of them are engaged, some of them are just dating, and some of them are still trying to figure it out.
In the original production, Bobby was played by a man. For USD's adaptation, Bobby is a woman and is played by Kaylee Vondra.
I think the difference between like a female person being single and turning 35 is very different from a male turning 35. I think it's a very interesting take.
Company features a lot of dancing, including an 8-minute dance number of Side by Side at the top of Act 2. Bobby tap dances during this number. Vondra told the choreographer that she can tap dance and was eager to perform it on stage.
I know there's a tap break in here and I want to do it, so that's just kind of how it started. They're like, you're gonna go in and you're gonna learn this, like these little tap combinations, and then you're gonna go and you're gonna do it on the stage.
These performers have been rehearsing since winter break to bring Company to life. Layden Bimberg, who plays Paul, hopes that students and community members come and see the show.
First of all, people should come see the show because A, support the arts. B, this show is just so different and so unique than other shows that we put on here at USD, and I think that this show really, I don't know, it just kind of like opens up your mind and like allows you to kind of take a deeper look inside your life.
For Coyote News, I'm Sydney Colin.
Showtimes take place each night at 7:30 tomorrow through Saturday and Sunday afternoon at 2. USD students can claim their free ticket at the box office. A nationally recognized music group made its way to USD's campus. The Pack Drumline performed at the men's basketball game last week. Their halftime performance featured dancing, playing their instruments while blindfolded, and even playing upside down. The groups performed on America's Got Talent, at Super Bowl 58, and for major brands like McDonald's and Coca-Cola. The Packer Drumline gave a second performance after the game in the lobby.
The Indian Student Association hosted their first Desi Night to celebrate Asian culture. The Muck Ballroom event on Saturday was filled with dancing, rhythmic music, and Indian traditions. Desi Night included food and interactive games for the audience to enjoy. The ISA president says the purpose of the event is to celebrate Indian and neighboring countries. The organization doesn't yet have their next event planned, but they're hopeful it will take place in the near future.
The 60th annual Clayton M. Lehman Student History Conference takes place tomorrow. Coyote News' Kylie Parisian is back in the muck with details. Kylie?
Thank you, Jacob. I'm here with Dr. Sarah Lambert. Sarah, what is the planning process of this upcoming event with the 60th annual Student History Conference?
Well, so first of all, thanks for bringing me here to talk about the conference. It really starts out in the fall where we send out a call for papers to regional history departments, and then papers get submitted by history majors and graduate students in January. A whole group reviews the papers, and then we start to put together panels and organize a day of history presentations.
And then what should people expect on these types of presentations that are going to be happening?
So all of the presentations reflect original student research in a whole range of history topics. So there are papers from like the history of Roman roads to gay rodeo to childhood in the Revolutionary era. And the papers are presented in panels of 4 papers. Students will deliver a paper, there'll be a discussion, Q&A. And then at 1 o'clock there's a keynote lecture about an Afro-Cuban boxer by Professor Cristina Abreu.
And then since it's a 60th annual, how has this event evolved throughout the years?
Well, the event is really shaped by my colleague Clayton Lehman, who really, he ran the conference for decades as a history professor at USD. And he passed away a year ago, and we've really tried to shepherd the conference and really make it his legacy. He is really committed to undergraduate research, to the humanities, and to kind of fostering community. And so we want to keep it going, and we want to make it a place where people who love history and students who are researching history can come together and share that love.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Live from the muck for Coyote News, I'm Kylie Parisian.
Thanks, Kylie. As stated, registration for the conference begins at 9 tomorrow morning and runs until 4:45.
Sigma Tau Delta is hosting an open mic night. Students can share their talents with music, poems, or jokes. The audience can support fellow performers and just enjoy a relaxing evening. The open mic takes place Friday night from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock at the W Social House. The African Student Association is celebrating a night full of culture, music, and heritage. African Night will feature performances and the crowning of Miss ASA 2025. The event takes place Saturday night at 6 o'clock in the Muck Ballroom. USD students get in free, and there's a $10 charge for faculty and community members.
Unite for USD begins next week at noon on Tuesday. The event's a 24-hour fundraiser to unite all members of the Coyote family, including students, staff, faculty, alumni, and the community. The fundraiser has many initiatives, including support for the Departments of Computer Science, Communication Sciences and Disorders, and even Media and Journalism's Coyote Radio. Those wanting to donate early can do so at uniteforusd.org.
Next on Coyote Sports, the men's basketball team puts up a four-game win streak on the line against in-state rival SDSU.
And freshman Gabby Wilkie scores a career high as South Dakota beats Kansas City.
Every day, 37 people die. Every 79 seconds, someone is killed.
Love y'all. I'll see you later.
2 out of 3 people will be impacted, and this could all be prevented. Don't drink and drive.
the University of South Dakota's Department of Media and Journalism.
You're never gonna know.
Fostering students' talent and creativity through the art of filmmaking. Share your stories. Bring your ideas to life. Discover your passion. Find your voice. Join USD's Department of Media and Journalism today.
This is Coyote News.
The men's golf team competes in its first meet of the spring season. I'm Kylie Moore.
And I'm Parker Orr. The track and field teams ran the Tyson Invitational and SDSU Classic as they prepare for the conference indoor championships. USD tested its 3-game win streak at home against Kansas City and SDSU. The Coyotes beat the Roos, improving to a 4-game win streak after Dre Bullock and Isaac Bruns both scored over 20 points. Bullock also added 6 steals, a new career high in the 79-72 victory. South Dakota then played in-state rival SDSU in the Redout game. Bullock and Bruns again both scored 20 or more points in a back-and-forth game. The Coyotes held a 2-point lead at half, but the Jackrabbits stormed back in the second half to win 94-91. USD faces St. Thomas tonight for Star Wars night before going to Omaha this weekend to play the Mavericks. The Tommies and Mavericks sit atop the Summit League standings with 2 weeks remaining in the regular season. The women's basketball team beat Kansas City in the Pink game. Then they traveled to Brookings, where they lost to in-state rival South Dakota State. Against the Roos, freshman Gabby Wilkie set a career-high 21 points on 6 for 8 shooting, including 5 threes. Junior Carly Duffney scored 18 points, and senior Grace Larkins added 16 for the Coyotes in a 63-56 victory. Larkins became the 3rd USD women's basketball player to score 2,000 career points, with a 23-point performance against SDSU. Larkins finished 1 assist away from a triple-double in that game, as South Dakota lost 71-61 after leading for much of the first half. The Coyotes continue their road trip this week against Omaha and St. Thomas, before returning home for Senior Day against Denver.
The track and field teams split this week going to the SDSU Classic and the Tyson Invitational. 3 school records were tested at the Tyson Invitational as Avery Schmeichel ran a personal best just short of a new school record in the 60-meter hurdle qualifying race. Berkeley Engeland also finished short of 2 school records in the 800-meter run, and with Schmeichel, Ellie Thomas, and Sarah Reifenrath as part of the 4x400 relay. Lydia Knapp and Delaney Smith took 2nd and 3rd in the weight throw at the SDSU Classic. Isaac Ochoa finished 2nd in the 3,000-meter run, and Sophie Amon took 2nd in the 60-meter dash. Eric Hammer also earned the Peak Performer of the Week after he placed 4th in the pole vault and sits 14th nationally. The team returns to Brookings for the SDSU Last Chance before running the indoor championships at the same facility next week. USD softball traveled to Louisiana for the 2025 Lion Classic for another 5-game slate. The Coyotes started strong, winning the opening game 8-0 against Mississippi Valley State after 3 RBIs from Delaney White. The success for USD continued, defeating UTSA 7-1 as 2 Coyotes went perfect with 3 hits and 3 at-bats. This gives South Dakota a 4-game win streak. Autumn Iverson singled in the 3rd to score 2 runs, but it wasn't enough as USD lost 3-2 to UTSA and then 7-3 to Southeastern Louisiana. The defense struggled in a rematch with Southeastern Louisiana committing 4 errors and an 11-6 loss. The Coyotes get ready for the Lion Classic this weekend, where they'll play East Texas A&M for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th time this season.
The swim and dive teams are in Iowa City competing in the Summit League Championships as they round up their season. Preliminary races took place earlier today, with some finals taking place tonight at the top of the hour. This is day 1 of a 4-day event to determine the conference champion.
The men's golf team opened its spring season with the Loyola Intercollegiate finishing 6th. Logan Hammock led the way for USD, finishing 10th at 6 under par. Cole Witherow and Max Schmidtke also finished under par at 2 and 1 respectively. South Dakota had a season best -9 in the third and final round to move into 6th, where they finished. The team beat conference foes NDSU, Northern Colorado, and Omaha at the meet. The team waits until next month before hitting the green again at the Donald Ross Intercollegiate. A USD head coach is being inducted to the Milwaukee Hall of Fame. Leanne Williamson was selected for the Milwaukee Hall of Fame class for 2024. The 2007 Horizon League Player of the Year and 5-time Summit League tournament champion finished her playing career with over 1,000 kills and digs and over 2,000 assists. Williamson is 18 wins away from the all-time wins record in the Summit League.
At halftime of the men's basketball game tonight, the football team will compete in a contest outside of football. Players R.J. Stewart, Beckett DeJean, and Tyson Bowes will participate in a dunk contest at halftime. Bowes has the height advantage over DeJean and Stewart by 2 and 3 inches respectively.
In other football news, 4 Coyotes were named to the 40th anniversary team of the Missouri Valley Conference. Tight end J.J. Galbraith, defensive back Miles Harden, and punters Brady Schutt and Miles Bergner. Over 2,000 ballots were cast across 40 days to select the team. South Dakota joined the Missouri Valley in 2012 after spending 4 years in the GWC after moving to the FCS. That's it for Coyote Sports.
When we come back, we ask students about good news. Stay with us.
Her smile lit up the room. She was an incredible daughter, and she had an addiction.
From Coyote News.
We have just learned that a local teen died yesterday to a suspected fentanyl overdose.
Bye, Dad.
Not a day goes by that I haven't cried, that I don't miss her desperately. She was my everything.
In the United States, approximately 6.3 million animals enter shelters every year. Of those, only 3.2 million will be adopted, and over 920,000 will be euthanized. Help put a stop to animal homelessness, save a life, and rescue your next best friend.
This is Coyote News.
A deep-sea creature has seen the light of day. A research team off the coast of Spain captured a video of a humpback anglerfish, also known as the Black Sea Monster. These fish are typically found at depths of 0 to 1,000 meters below the surface, where there's little to no sunlight. The crew who captured the recording were conducting research on pelagic sharks and say that this could be the first recorded sighting of the fish in broad daylight. Books are a common source of entertainment for most people, and with a wide range of genres available, there's something for everyone.
We asked our Instagram followers what book genre they prefer.
Well, what do you prefer, Xander?
Me, myself, I have to say any kind of fiction. I love a good made-up story. They always get the blood flowing.
I'm the same way. I like some adventure, some sci-fi. I'd say that's up my alley. What did the people say? Wow.
I see.
Very fitting for Valentine's, time of year. Maybe that's why. Follow our Instagram page for more weekly polls.
Sometimes it can be hard to find the goodness in everyday life.
In this week's Out and About, we asked students what's something good that happened today.
Here's what they had to say.
My class got out early today, 45 minutes.
My only class today got canceled.
I went and got a bagel. That's really good. I got some coffee. The weather's not too bad. My car started. That's good. And I could start my car from my window this morning.
I don't think I failed my accounting exam that we just had, so that's good.
I got to meet with my best friend, so that was really nice.
My 11 a.m. literature class got canceled.
I did really good on a test today, so that's good.
Well, I got to ride to class with my best friend, and even though we're running behind, it was a good drive.
I got one question done on my math review out of 17. Woke up today.
I woke up. Gotta be thankful for that.
I aced my exercise physiology test.
My friends got me some coffee this morning. That was pretty good. Didn't even know about it.
I woke up, I took a shower, and to play on the radio of my playlist, played my favorite song, Tipsy by Shabuzi. And I played that max volume. It was awesome. People in the shower singing it too with me. It was really good.
I got a rose from Evan Pear, and I'm really happy.
Barker, what made your day great today?
Well, I got to show up to the Al Newharth Media Center and see everybody for Coyote News.
That does sound great. I got some free pizza for lunch. I love it when that happens.
Not to sound too full of myself or anything, but today I woke up earlier than my roommate, who usually wakes up at 7 or 8, and I'm kind of proud of that.
That's pretty good.
Well, my 9 a.m. got canceled this morning, and then I got a really good coffee.
Oh, that is great. That's all for Coyote News.
Check out the Volant online for recaps on Coyote athletics.
Listen to 91.1 for news updates throughout the week and for coverage of your USD sports.
Don't forget to follow our social media pages for daily updates in the weekly poll. Have a great night.